Dana White! What are you doing? This is crazy. We have breaking news about UFC 324. But before we get into that, what's going on, y'all? Bulletproof Lambo back with another video. The biggest and baddest fight channel on YouTube. Your one-stop shop for everything fighting and fitness. And today, we are reacting to the breaking news about UFC 324. Like I said, man, this is crazy. Arman Tsarukyan is out. He does not get the title shot. Paddy and Justin Gaethje are in. What did I tell y'all, man? I told y'all Ilia does not want the smoke. But the real question is, does Arman Tsarukyan deserve? Is he the rightful guy for the job? Is he the one who truly deserves the title shot? Or is it Paddy and Justin Gaethje? Is Ilia so scared of Arman Tsarukyan that he's considering retirement? We about to find out right now.
Pick 'em up, take 'em to the moon, to the fucking thing. I'm riding through New York, finna go and shoot New Jersey up. Tryna take my chain, they ain't going. We gon' come and blow New Jersey up. You want something? Hurry up. Try to rob, bitch, me 30'd up. Just like volcanoes, bitch, I'm curried up. Keys in my pockets, velvet up. Hey, I'm a gorilla.
Man, what did I tell y'all, man? The UFC's all out of whack, man. We got an interview by Dana White. This is breaking news, where he talks about what the UFC 324 card is looking like. Let's get straight into it, man. We got a lot of things to cover today. Let's see what Dana White has to say. Dana, how you feeling? The people want to know, man. How you feeling?
Give me, gang. Firing off some stuff here before we really get into it, but don't forget, UFC 23 is live December 6th from T-Mobile Arena. Marab looks to make history for his fourth title defense in one calendar year. He's on a 14-fight win streak. This guy hasn't lost in 7 years.
That's crazy.
Co-main event, Pantoja, Joshua Van. Pantoja's on an 8-fight win streak. Guy looks unstoppable. He holds the flyweight record.
This weekend going up.
Wins and finishes.
Weekend going up, boys.
And Joshua Van's coming off one of the best fights you'll ever see in 2025 against Brandon Roy Ball.
Get y'all dumbbells out, man. Like I said, we ain't just watching content.
So
we getting better at the same time.
Saw Gaethje versus Paddy for the interim title. Earlier, Topuria posted, I'm dealing with some personal problems, so I'm not gonna fight the first quarter. So the winner of Gaethje versus Paddy will be the interim title, and then they will face Topuria. Kayla Harrison and Amanda Nunes for the bantamweight title. That's a badass fight. You know, Kayla, it's her.
Now y'all heard what Dana White just said. Didn't even mention Arman Tsarukyan off his last performance of Charles Oliveira, despite the fact that he's the #1 contender, mind you. We're just going to jump over him. You know what I think this is, and we've talked about this before, and I kind of glanced over it, because I thought the UFC had forgiven Arman Tsarukyan. The UFC is still pissed off with Arman Tsarukyan, and they are making an example out of him for backing out of the fight with Islam Makhachev. They spent a lot of money on that matchup. He pissed off the bookies. He pissed off the odds makers. He pissed off the matchmakers. But above all else, he pissed off Mick Maynard, Hunter Campbell, Sean Shelby, and Dana White. You cannot do this. You cannot do what Arman Tsarukyan did. So am I surprised? Yes. But did I see this coming? Yes. Because Arman Tsarukyan made a huge mistake when he backed out of that title fight with Islam Makhachev, and he is still paying for it. He might have to win another 2-3 fights at this point. You got to remember, Ilia, like Dana just said, and we're gonna cover this after this video. Like Dana just said, whoever wins that title fight, that vacant title fight, mind you, vacant. Ilia Topuria got saved by the grace of God. Now he doesn't even have to fight now. So much so they told him, hey, we're gonna let you keep your belt. We'll just have them fight for the vacant one. What are we doing? God, this pisses me off so much. But you know what? The game moves on, man. The game moves on. It is what it is.
First title defense. After beating Juliana Payne, she comes back to take on Kayla Harrison. Way in hell that fight is incredible. O'Malley and Song Yadong. Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Waldo coming off a win a week ago. Took the fight on 2 days' notice. Comes in and wins by knockout and coming off the eye poke knockout win. This guy's having a fucking great year. And, you know, him and Derek Lewis is going to be fun as hell. Arnold Allen and Gene Silva. Alexa Grasso versus Rose Namajunas. And just added, like an hour ago, 2 hours ago, however long ago, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Figueiredo. Fight is also on the card. And
that's a crazy card.
So you guys are getting that's going to be a pay-per-view type fight on Paramount Plus. You just pay your subscription, and I say this all the time. If you haven't seen Mobland, and now my new show is Landman, Mobland and Landman, two of the best shows you'll see ever. Fucking incredible. 1 week later, we have Alexander Volkanovski versus Diego Lopez on Paramount Plus. So that's January 31st, UFC 325 from Sydney, Australia. Volk versus Diego.
Volk's retirement fight.
There's a bunch of other fights on there.
There you have it, man. The boss man has spoken. Arman Tsarukyan is out. Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje are in. But seriously though, what the fuck are we talking about? Justin Gaethje, does anybody even remember when the last time Justin Gaethje fought? And I love watching Justin Gaethje fight, man. You are talking to a Justin Gaethje stan. I've been said Justin Gaethje was a dog. He's the most exciting fighter to watch in the UFC. He just goes out there and scraps. But come on, bro. What is this, like his third title defense? I mean, his third title shot? Do y'all think, am I wrong? Does anybody following this channel, does anybody following the UFC think that Paddy Pimblett or Justin Gaethje, Topuria is out of the picture. We're getting ready to go over Topuria right now. We're not even talking about him right now. Arman scared him off. He got his own issues going on. Right? He needs to go see a psych or something. I don't know. He needs medication. Bro, does anybody who's been following this think that either Justin Gaethje or Paddy Pimblett deserve the title shot more than Arman Tsarukyan? Does anybody think that? Because I feel like I'm on an island right now, bro. This is so frustrating, man. But the reason why I can't go off the way I want to go off is because he did piss off the UFC. You cannot back out of title fights. You cannot do that. You cannot back out of title fights. We have seen people take short notice title fights with broken limbs. Broken ribs, Sean O'Malley. Broken toe, John Jones. Broken toe, Alex Pereira. But the list goes on and on and on. You cannot back out of title fights. It doesn't matter how much money you have, Arman. It doesn't matter who you think you are. It doesn't matter how strong you are. It doesn't matter how good your wrestling or striking is. You cannot back out of title fights. And I guarantee, I'm telling you, that is the only reason why he has not gotten 2-3 title shots by now. Even if he had lost that fight, they would have let him run it back. You got to take that L. You have to take that L, man. Because there's realistically no difference between a fat, out of shape, 1 day notice Renato Moicano coming in in fighting Islam, and you with a bad back coming in to fight Islam. There's no difference. There is no difference. And we saw in that post-fight interview that Dana White had how mad he was with Arman Tsarukyan. I wish this channel was going when that fight went off. But it is what it is. It is breaking news. Nonetheless, Arman Tsarukyan is out. Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje are in. It's still a fire fight. I'm going to go out on a limb here and predict Paddy Pimblett to wash Justin Gaethje. I think Justin Gaethje's on his way out. I think maybe probably a first or second round submission, man. You know, it's going to be, this is Paddy Pimblett's time now. It's his time. And he deserves it. If you're going to pick anybody else besides Arman Tsarukyan, it's Paddy Pimblett. It goes without saying, man. It is what it is. We move on. Next. You know what I'm saying? So right here we have a post. A Twitter post that Ilia Topuria released talking about why he's not fighting any of his contenders right now. Why he's in hiding. Why he can only go have little Twitter fingers. You know, this dude is turning into the same guy that he has all this stuff, all this crap to talk about. He's turning into the next Conor McGregor, bro. You go on a little stretch, you go on a little win streak against guys who got put in front of you for a certain reason. Now when it's time to fight real contenders like Paddy Pimblett, who's on fire, never been knocked out. Now when it's time to fight real contenders like Arman Tsarukyan, who's on fire, who's never been knocked out. Now when it's time to fight real contenders like Justin Gaethje, who will put your lights out, he's nowhere to be found. So now we find out why. Ilia Topuria, yesterday, 2 o'clock p.m., he released a statement stating, "I won't be fighting in the first quarter of next year. I'm going through a difficult moment in my personal life. I want to focus on my children and resolve this situation as soon as possible. I don't want to hold up the division. The UFC will make the matchups needed. And as soon as the matters are resolved, I'll let the UFC know. I'm ready to begin my return." Now, if you've been following the news about Ilia Topuria in the past 2 months, you would know that he just divorced his wife, his beautiful, voluptuous wife, man. Very beautiful woman. I will give him that. But she divorced his ass. And her reasoning was that I don't know, he was cheating or something, or he was texting other girls or something. Because you got to realize, she's worth millions, his girlfriend. She pays for all of his stuff. She got money. From what I've heard, she has money. She comes from money. Right? So he's going through a divorce. Oh, man, poor Topuria, man. Oh, man, I feel so bad for this guy, man. He's going through a divorce. Guys, what are we going to pray for Topuria, man? No, but for real, pray for Topuria. He's going through such a hard time, man. He's going through a divorce. He's having female problems. He's got to resolve his situation, guys. He needs some rehab, and he's going through a divorce. What do you want him to do? He can't work. He can't work. He can't make money, bro. He's going through a divorce. You know, what are you going to do? Topuria, stop the damn cap, bro. Stop the cap. You know you've been going through all this drama with your wife the past 2 months. And what has that done? It's taken away from your training. It's taken away from your strength and conditioning. It's taken away from your cardio. It's taken away from everything about you as a fighter. So instead of facing the music and doing what you're supposed to do as a champion, which is defending your title against one of the most poppin' divisions in the UFC right now, top 3 divisions in the UFC, what do? Whoop-de-doo. What does Topuria do? What does little midget man do? He makes up an excuse and gives this BS response to us fans. Like, we care. Like, we give a damn about what he has going on in his personal life. We don't care, bro. Of course, I hope you are doing well, bro, but this is none of our business, bro. I would have been okay if he just didn't release anything. He said, "Hey, I'll see y'all next year. I'll be watching the fight. Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje, line them up. Whoever wins the fight, I'm next. Come and get the title. Time to scrap." But he comes out with this. Topuria is sick in the head, man. He's sick. The midget man is sick. And this is not me trying to roast him or make him look bad. I genuinely think this man is sick. Look at his response, bro. This is ridiculous. How do you go from claiming that you smacked the number one contender trying to get in his head, talking about you'll fight whoever the UFC puts in front of you, to now it's, I got to settle everything at home, to now it's, oh, well, I'm not mentally okay, guys. I got to resolve a lot of issues going on in my life. I'm not going to fight. It's not important to me to fight right now. I don't care. Maybe I'll see you next year. Maybe not. Yeah, it is what it is. What did I tell you? What did I tell y'all? I told y'all Topuria is a duck. I told y'all Topuria is a duck. He does not want the Arman Tsarukyan fight. There's only one person in the whole UFC that has the power to make that Arman Tsarukyan fight happen, and it's Ilia Topuria. If Ilia Topuria had come out and said, man, this Arman Tsarukyan cat, everybody's high on him right now. He beat Charles Oliveira. He's the wrestler of the division. I want to challenge my skills. I want to take out this guy. He seems like the most dangerous guy in the division. I want to put him to bed. I want to put him to sleep. To prove to everybody that I'm the best. You keep claiming you're the best fighter on the planet. This was your chance to prove it, Ilia Topuria, and you flopped. You flopped like the midget coward man you are. You may be talented. You may have great boxing, but you are not a true champion. Not only did he not call out Arman Tsarukyan, which would have been the biggest fight in the division, right? But now he has gotten in the way so much so that they had to. What did I say? I literally predicted this. I said, I am hearing from different sources that they're making an interim title fight with Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett. I said this last video. Man, if y'all don't tap in with this channel, you're going to be tapped out. If y'all don't tap in with this channel, you're not locked in, man. We got all this news on lock. I'm telling y'all, and I already told y'all, Topuria is a duck. Not only does he not want to fight Arman Tsarukyan, not only does he not want to fight Paddy Pimblett, not only does he not want to fight Justin Gaethje, he fought the guy in the division with the weakest chin. Is that not a coincidence? Ever since that fight, all he's been doing is going on Twitter, typing up a storm, and saying, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT, I'm the GOAT. Islam, 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 Islam. The UFC did right by Topuria. They did right by Topuria. They lined him up with all the fights that would have put him on the map and made him a star. And how does he repay them? By telling them, I'm not going to defend my belt. I'm out of here. If I don't get the Islam fight, I'm out of here. You're a disgrace. Ilia Topuria is a disgrace. I don't care what nobody has to say. Look at this. Look at this. I want to focus on my children and resolve the situation as soon as possible. Bro, what are you talking about? You are 100% healthy. A relationship should never get in the way of you making your career, making your bones, making a bigger name for yourself. If he thinks that this isn't going to hurt his career, just going to snap back into reality and get back to his old ways, it's not going to work like that, buddy. It's not going to work like that. We went from talking about having a fight in Spain, having the first UFC card in Spain. Nobody want to see that shit no more. Nobody wants to see that anymore, bro. And it's all your fault, Topuria. Congratulations. Next, we move on. We move on, man. We got another interview. Or not an interview. We got another piece of content that I want to react to. And this is basically summarizing this entire breaking news situation that we have going on right now in the UFC, man.
Guys, the signal did not work. Remember when I said that Gaethje and Charles got title shots from beating Chandler? And that Paddy should as well? Well, I was joking. He actually did. Paddy Pimblett is fighting for an interim title off of beating Michael Chandler.
Wow.
Thanksgiving gift. We got our first two UFC
Both of these men right here are tremendous fighters, but they got early Christmas presents, bro. I hope y'all know this. They got early Christmas presents because Ilia Topuria is so scared of Arman Tsarukyan that he's considering retiring from the sport. Really think about that, bro. He's literally considering retiring from the sport because he's so scared of Arman Tsarukyan. He'd rather let the UFC... Topuria is literally... Bro, really think about this. Topuria is so scared. Topuria is so scared of Arman Tsarukyan that he is literally willing to retire for the next year or two. He's literally so scared of Arman Tsarukyan that he is willing to let the UFC make up this interim title BS. Like I said before, this is the route we're headed to with guys like Topuria that don't want to defend their belt against risky competition. He is so scared of Arman Tsarukyan that he is literally letting and willing to let the UFC make up a UFC vacant title. And him just wait on his sofa watching all this unfold. How embarrassing, bro. You don't even have 2 title defenses to your name. Who do you think you are? You ain't no John Jones. You ain't even Alex Pereira, dog. You ain't got no title defenses. Acting like this, bro. It's despicable. It's disgraceful, man.
Numbered events, I guess, for Paramount, and it seems pretty standard. It's some amazing matchmaking, slapping on an interim title on Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett, and yes, in fact, the winner is going to fight Ilia Topuria. What did Arman fight Hooker for? Why was he set to be the #1 contender to fight Ilia after? Just a sideline to shot.
Weights out, man.
Shows how much they love him. It is what it is, I guess, and that's not even the craziest part. Alexander Volkanovski is going to be fighting Diego Lopez again on the next one at the end of January. And you'll never guess who Volk beat in his last fight. Forget it, dude. We run it until Lopez wins. But to be honest, all Lopez did was beat John Silva. Factually, that's all he did. The Volk fight wasn't necessarily close. He had a few good moments in the fight. He dropped him. But Volk won 4 rounds out of the 5. And comparing one win ever since to what Murphy has done throughout his entire career is not the best comparison. Murphy did so much more to get his first title shot than Lopez getting his second. But it's a good fight, I guess, you know? It shows such desperation for a Mexican champion. They built a PI over there. They did a whole No-Chase Sphere event, customized Yair's belt, campaigned and promoted the next Mexican generation of fighters.
You know, I really do like the Diego Lopez. And, dude, he's on a tear right now. You can say all you want, but who else is he supposed to be, bro? To get a title shot, he beat Dan Ige, you know, he beat Sadiq, he beat, like you just said, he beat John Silva, he beat who he was supposed to beat, and these guys are all nasty fighters that he beat, bro. You can say all this stuff about, oh, they want a Mexican champion, of course they do, bro, but let's be real, who else in the division can you see having a long reign besides Volk? You gotta go with Diego Lopez, bro. He's the next guy. Will he lose this fight again? Probably. Because, you know, rematches never really go well, especially with championship caliber fighters. Volk's not going to play that game with him. But after Volk retires, after this fight, when he retires, Diego Lopez is going to fight again. He's up next. I like it. You know? Give the dude the belt. He's lit. You know, he's taking fights. Something Topuria is not.
We will get another Mexican champion, even if it's the last thing we do.
And another thing about Diego Lopez, he's a finisher. He's a finisher. He will knock you out. We're not going to get that from Volkanovski. I like Volkanovski. He's one of the ghosts of the sport, but it's time for him to go. Let the young bloods come in while they're getting knockouts. Let Diego Lopez have the belt while he's knocking people out. I don't want to see a washed up Diego Lopez get the belt, bro. I want to see this Diego Lopez get the belt. You know? Like I said, I do think he's going to lose. I don't have anything against Diego Lopez. We're signed to the same management company, Iridium Sports. I like Diego Lopez. But, bro, this is his time. It's his time. People can say what they want. You can't give the belt to Lerone Murphy, bro. He ain't fought the same level of competition. He just hasn't. He ain't. Who he fought? Pacheco? Come on, bro. Get out of here.
Even if he's Brazilian, it's the best that they can work with, dude. I don't know. He lives there. He trains there. He calls it his home. So I guess he is Mexican in that way. And that's all they need to run with it. You got to give it to Volk, though. He's willing to fight anybody. He's always been that sort of fighter. But Arman Tsarukyan and Laurel Murphy being passed up is part of the course, dude. It just comes with the sport at this point.
Yeah.
What does deserve mean? What
Especially
does
Arman.
mean? What does a champion even mean? What does a sport mean? It's all ambiguous at this point. Even Murphy is questioning what is happening. Him and Movsar both have responded to the fight news, and Movsar is looking for the next fight. I mean, he hasn't fought in a long time, so he has to do that regardless.
Movsar not his finisher,
Murphy,
bro.
though, is depressed about it. He says, quote, "Missing the opportunity to fight one of the featherweight GOATs is what hurts me the most. It's not about who is the best anymore. It's about who's the most popular." Unquote. It's been like that for a long time, Murphy. Unfortunately, Murphy's not a big star. Lopez can play into the Mexican market, I guess. Or at least that's what's portrayed. You guys can let me know, for any of the Mexican fans, is Lopez like that big of a deal over there? Because he's like promoted as such. But I wonder what the Arman and Hooker fight was all about then. It was promoted to be the #1 contender fight, and Arman was the #1 ranked contender prior to it. And it wasn't like a boring fight. He performed, he finished him. Just to give it to crybaby Justin Gaethje. I said it before that Ali probably guilt-tripped them with Gaethje's retirement. They don't want Gaethje to go. He's on the tail end of his career. He wants another big fight, and he said he would fight if it's for a title, so they slapped on an interim title. I guarantee there's two main reasons why there's an interim title on the line. Number one, they needed one to headline the card. Kayla Harrison versus Amanda Nunes was not going to suffice for most people, although I think it is more fitting than Gaethje versus Paddy. To be
Bro, not for the Paramount opener, bro. Obviously. But I'm telling you the main reason, bro. It's because Ilia Topuria is not willing to fight. He's not willing to fight. Imagine, bro, just imagine this. Imagine you have hyped up the fact that the lightweight title is going to be defended and fought for the Paramount Plus opener. Now, all of a sudden, Ilia Topuria comes out and he's talking about, "I'm not going to fight." He's calling the UFC up every day saying, "I can't fight. I can't fight. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight." Because he's so scared of Arman Tsarukyan. Won't even say his name. He's more than willing to say Paddy Pimblett name. He's more than willing to say Justin Gaethje's name. But he will not mention Arman Tsarukyan. I don't even know if the UFC told him that we're not looking at Arman Tsarukyan. He was so scared of Arman Tsarukyan, he psyched himself out before getting the news. Now, that's what happened in this situation, bro. That is literally what happened. Y'all get y'all dumbbells out, man. We're not just watching content. We getting better at the same damn time. But I'm telling y'all, that is what happened. That is literally what happened, y'all. Ilia Topuria went to the UFC way too soon and started complaining, "I'm not fighting, I'm not fighting, I'm not fighting," because he did not want to fight Arman Tsarukyan. Little did he know Arman Tsarukyan wasn't even in the plans. So now that it comes out that Arman Tsarukyan, we were never going to give him a title shot, what is Topuria supposed to do? Back out and tell the UFC brass and tell Dana White, tell Sean Shelby, "Hey, I was just playing. I'd rather fight, instead of not fighting because, I'll fight Paddy. I'll fight Gaethje." He can't do that now, bro, because he's been acting like a little pussy for this entire time. He's been acting like a wuss this entire time, bro. All these interviews that he's been going on, he's been going behind the scenes talking to the UFC brass, telling them, "Hey, look, I don't know if this title fight thing is going to work," because he thought in his head he was going to have to fight Arman Tsarukyan like the rest of us. Little did he know the UFC had other plans, but now it's too late. It's too late to backtrack, bro. It's too late to backtrack. So he's using his family bullshit excuse. But really, that's not what's going on. And we all know that. We all know that, bro. Deep down, y'all know it. Y'all know Topuria never wanted to fight Arman Tsarukyan. Arman Tsarukyan, low-key, retired Ilia Topuria. We saw Arman Tsarukyan had no fear in his heart for Ilia Topuria, bro. None whatsoever. Whenever he's around, he's standing behind people, quiet as a church mouse. Let Paddy Pimblett come around. Ilia Topuria be the first one to push him across the freaking table, bro. Push him across the room. It ain't like that with Arman, bro. It ain't like that at all. So we know why this is happening. We know. The real ones know. You know? On this channel, we know. But the Bulletproof Brotherhood Army, we know. I don't know about these other channels, but we know.
I think they just
we know the truth.
Tunnel fight, so they just put one on there. They could do that anytime, right? The other reason is to get Gaethje to accept it. Because Gaethje has said before, he's not going to fight without a belt. Therefore, they put one on the line just so he accepts it. I was originally confused as to whether this would obstruct Arman's title shot. You know, perhaps they can just have this interim title fight and then the winner fights after Arman. But we have some news about when Ilia is going to return. He says that he's not going to fight for the first quarter due to some personal issues that he's having, and there seems to be some assumptions that has to do with his divorce. You know, a man has to take care of his family. We get it. It's understandable.
Oh my God,
soon,
bro.
but that will line up with the winner of Gaethje and Paddy.
This is crazy. That's what supporting the plan with fire,
is going to fight Ilia. So Arman Tsarukyan has potentially just been passed up for a title shot and may have to fight someone else. Who is that someone else? I don't know. Max Holloway, I guess. But then who's Charles going to fight? He just defeated Mateusz Gamrot. And Lerone Murphy, like, what does he have to do now? He has to, I don't know, fight Movsar Evloev for the #1 contender fight. The guy's literally undefeated. An undefeated top contender was passed up for a rematch of a prior fight that happened last year. Volk fought Lopez last year. That was his most recent fight. It was a good fight, but Volk is definitely superior. He was clearly the better fighter. He got hit a few times, he got dropped. We've had these, like, quote-unquote undeserved title shots before, but it's become so much more normal in the last few years, especially after UFC 300. We've seen plenty of them. 2024 was littered with undeserved title shots, and we're beginning the next year with them, setting up another undeserved title shot off of the interim title. The interim title is undeserved, which is going to make the actual title fight undeserved too, only if Arman doesn't fight for it first. I get it if they're going to have Arman fight Topuria first. But if it's in fact going to be Gaethje or Paddy before Arman, then yeah, it's undeserved. This whole manufactured rise of so many different fighters is insane. Like, the fact that they put an interim title on so they can line up Paddy to fight.
Perfect word to use. It is manufactured.
This is Expedience Gym Monster 2. Now, if you're not familiar with Expedience Gym Monster, let's first talk about what it is.
It's so manufactured, dude. Oh my, they told Arman that he's going to get a title shot, and they could have just sidelined it from him. That is so grimy. And I don't know what Arman should do next. I mean, he could fight Max Holloway, but Max and Charles have already been promoting their...
Don't fight Max, bro. Get your title shot, bro. You earned it, bro.
But that's the fight that everybody wants to see. So if those guys fight, then what does Arman do? Does he fight Benoit Saint Denis? Like, I don't get what they want Arman to do. It's very confusing, but I don't want to talk too much about the integrity and all that stuff. We beat that dead horse.
That would be a crazy banger fight. Arman versus BSD, man.
Arman might fight for the belt at the end of next year. Ilia doesn't really fight that often, so it might be the end of the year or it might be in 2027. We'll see, because let's say Ilia fights in May or in June against the winner of one of these two. If he's consistent with his activity, then he's going to fight at the beginning of 2027, most likely. But the fights are great, right? So the individual fights by themselves without thinking about the integrity is pretty cool, I guess, you know? I think Paddy Pimblett is going to beat Justin Gaethje. I think it's a very good fight for him. Tailor-made, stylistic matchup where if he takes the fight to the ground, he is strangling him with a quickness. Now, if Gaethje can defend the takedowns and focus most of his training camp on defensive wrestling and outstriking Paddy Pimblett, he could win the fight. But Paddy leaves his chin up in the air. He's not much of a technical striker. I don't think his distance management is going to help too much here, given that Gaethje also has very powerful kicks. He can take out the legs, but Paddy's probably going to be training specifically for those, which would be pretty good for him. So it should be interesting. I think the co-main event should honestly be...
Okay, that's enough for that video, man. You know, it is a banger card, man. I ain't gonna lie, it is a banger card, but like you was pointing out, we got people that deserve it a whole lot more than the ones who are involved in this whole thing, bro. You know? We got people that are way more deserved. Diego Lopez, I think he's the right guy for the job. I'm not so much focused on the featherweight division because we don't know. Volk could have specifically asked for, as a retirement fight, bro, they're going to give you who you asked for. I doubt Volkanovski wants his retirement fight to be against someone like Movsar, bro. I doubt Volk wants his retirement fight to be against someone like Lerone Murphy. These guys are back foot guys. These guys are versatile. Well, Diego Lopez is versatile too, but he's a wild man. He plays right into Volkanovski's hands, right into his card. He has enough power to where he's not really going to get knocked out cold, but it's going to put, Diego Lopez will come forward enough to put on a show for it to look like, make Volk look like more of a dog. It's a perfect fight for him. So I'm not too much focused on the featherweight division. They got their own situation going on. It's not so much about who deserves it at the moment for them, but it will be soon. But as far as the lightweight division, there's people that deserve to fight a whole lot more. There's a person who deserves a title fight a whole lot more than, Paddy Pimblett, bro. Come on. His last win was Michael Chandler. And Justin Gaethje, when was his last win? Who'd he fight? Fiziev? Come on, are we being real? A guy that he already beat? And I get it. Gaethje has a star power that's Justin freaking Gaethje, bro. He's going to be gone soon. Give the man what he wants. But, bro, right now is not the time, bro. It's not the time, bro. Give Arman that title fight. And it's like, bro, I don't know what this whole thing is with people saying, I don't know what this whole thing is with people saying. It's like the stupidest thing. Oh, Arman's going to fight Topuria next year. No, he's not, bro. Arman might have another fight, in the next couple months, but it ain't going to be for no belt. He has a lot to make up, bro. He has a lot to make up for. The UFC is not pleased with him, bro. It's not that hard to tell. It's just not, bro. Let's be real. He ain't fighting for no title. What are you talking about? Why would he fight Ilia Topuria after the vacant title gets fought for? That doesn't make any sense. That does not happen, bro. The person who gets dibs at a title shot over anybody else, over the number one contender, over the backup fighter, is the vacant title holder, bro. That makes no sense. Has that ever happened in history? Has anybody ever gotten a title shot over the vacant title holder? No, bro. When Tom Aspinall had the vacant title, they upgraded him to the title holder. What are you talking about, bro? Arman Tsarukyan is not getting a title fight. Why would they give him a title fight? If they're going to give him a title fight, they would give him a title fight for this vacant belt. He's on the back. He's on the shelf, bro. He's on the bench right now, bro. But that's it for me, man. That is it for me. This was breaking news about UFC 324. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you feel like Arman Tsarukyan is the rightful fighter for the 324 vacant title fight, hopefully he's the backup fighter. We'll find out soon. But if you guys feel like he's the right fighter to pick for that fight over just Justin Gaethje, because we know you got to put Paddy in there, then y'all let me know down below. If you feel like this card is still a banger card, which I think it's a banger card, besides that fact of that title fight, that lightweight title fight, if you guys feel like it's still a banger card and the UFC made the right division, keeping Arman on the back burner, having Paddy Pimblett and Justin Gaethje fight for the title instead, let me know down in the comments. Man, either way, it's a banger card. I can't wait for it. We'll just have to see how this thing plays out, man. There's a lot of ins and outs of it. But yeah, like I said, man, that's it for me. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. And as always, stay motivated, stay positive, stay motivated, and stay inspired, man.